Happy Wednesday, all. That's hump day. I don't know what time it is. I just got out of the shower. 3:39. Sorry I haven't been around. Haven't sat at the desk. Haven't felt like being social. Just dealing with life and the curveballs that it throws. And I keep throwing knuckles back at life. Never seem to stop fighting it. There's nothing on my desk other than just dirt. I'm going to replace this. I got a cool one in mind, but wanted to touch base and talk about the slow dance challenge and my frustrations, my happiness, and all that. But yeah, life's been hectic lately. You never know what you're going to get every single day. Started a new job this week, which was sort of an unplanned thing, but a good thing. I am happy, which says a lot because I struggle with happiness sometimes. That's part of depression. That is just part of where you are in life, where you want to be. It's a fickle motherfucker, to say it lightly. But yeah, so I put out the slow dance challenge, and I have frustrations, and I'm like, wow, I don't compliment myself often, and I'm just not that kind of guy. But I've gotten a lot of compliments for the challenge, for the one that I put out, my flying style, that kind of thing. And that really makes me feel good for somebody I am harder on myself than I am on anybody else. It feels good. It's hard to take the compliment. But at the same time, I put out this challenge thinking, I think other people can get into this. And I know I am challenging people really, really tough. And I know there's a lot of new pilots out there, so this sort of doesn't apply. But there's some phenomenal pilots out there that I'm hoping will take on this challenge, because I watch a lot of YouTube and the way people fly. I'm picking lines that I would take in their flights and just their characteristics. And I think OCD is what's created my flight style, my purposeful flight style, in a sense, where, I see something once the goggles are on and I go for that. I'm just not jumping, flipping, rolling. That's just not my style. Yes, I can flip, I can roll, but I like to have, I don't know if flight pattern is the right word for it. If you watch any of my videos, it always seems like there's a purpose. I'm going in that direction for one reason, and then that connects me to the next spot, and I kind of create a flight path within, even if I just have a spot to start and a spot to shoot for, that creates that gap. And my goggles allow me to do that with the huge head play goggles, because the view is phenomenal in them. But I put this challenge out to really push people to take a step back, kind of smell the roses in a very metaphorical manner, and fly slow. Because a lot of people, especially if you're new, it's really hard. I've been there. Trying to get your quad to fly slow and smooth is one of the hardest things to do. Obviously, with a little bit of a tune in the quad, that makes a huge difference, and a lot of stick time makes a phenomenal difference in that. If you're flying a Cinewhoop or something like that, you also have, I don't know what, angle mode? I just call it level mode, where it helps level you out a little bit and gives you a little bit of advantage if you're looking for that cinematic shot. With the 5-inch quads, it's tough. It is really, really tough, and that's kind of why I built a 3-inch. Where is it? That's a good question. Let me get it real quick. That's kind of why I built Boo here. That's the name of the quad. This is more of a chill flyer. I mean, I'm a chill flyer, period, but and this antenna I changed again. It's a work in progress. Been having video feed. I was thinking the antenna was bad on it. So anyway, this has the power, and to me is as fast as my cinematic 5-inch quad. It's just got gobs of power. And what makes me laugh, and everyone else that sees the video, is that's the battery that this flies, that weighs probably as much, getting 8 to 10 minutes depending on flight style with it, and there's tons of power, which is cool. But that added momentum, I can fly nice and chill, and I can still squeak through the trees in acro with no wobble and just kind of float through and pick my path. That's amazing. Yes, 5-inch are much harder, but the way I tune my quads and kind of if you want to dial them in, whatever the terms you are. That's kind of how I dial them into my flight styles. And there is a very kind of beginner, easy way to mess with your PIDs for all these new guys. Because again, I overanalyze everything. I watch the quad flying, I'm watching what it's doing and jerking. And especially with new flyers and trying to get used to that, adding what's called expo. So in the center of your stick where you're pinching it and not moving it, when you move it just back and forth a little bit, you can null in layman terms. So when you're moving like this, instead of the quad jerking around, you can actually null that a bit. So you have to physically move your stick just a little bit more to get it to actually move a little more. So just that little movement doesn't make it jerk and jump to help train your hands. You can also add a little bit in the P gain and in the I. And I is one of my favorites because that helps you get that locked in, kind of on the rails feeling. And I always go up in little increments. Like when I build a quad, even before I fly it, knowing what the PIDs are, I take a picture of all that. I'll go up 2 points on the P, on pitch, roll, and yaw. And then I'll usually go up 3 points on pitch, roll, and yaw on the I gain and start from there and see how it flies. And then if you get that locked in feeling, perfect. If you don't, I add a little bit more I. And if it seems kind of floaty or not responsive enough, you can add a touch more P. But also, there's a neat thing you can do. When you look at, you have two on your filters, you have your RC rate and your super rate. Your super rate, don't mess with if your quad's already flying. That's when you snap the stick and how quick it flips. That can become a nightmare, and you could come a cannonball out of the air due to an over flipping and break stuff. But if you kind of want to null and give a tiny bit of delay, in the, if that's your flight style, your RC rate, you can actually lower that a little bit, just a little bit, a couple points, and that will actually help smooth some of your flight characteristics. But back to, I'm bunny trailing myself, which is funny. I was hoping for really chill, thinking of your lines, cutting through trees. Obviously, the location you're at makes a huge difference. If you got a beautiful location, perfect. The music I was hoping for was much, much more chilled, laid back, emotional, acoustic, something that would bring forth the view that you're showing, the nature. That's kind of the thought that I had in my mind. But every video that I've seen so far, I have absolutely enjoyed. I can't complain. But I had a vision in my head to see people kind of kicking back. Instead of doing 80 on the highway, you're doing 30. F everybody. Just take your time in that big old Cadillac and just cruise. That's my mentality. So I think I want to change my challenge a little bit and allow people to put more than one entry in to see which one fits the most, and hopefully they get the vibe that I'm shooting. So let me know what you think. If you catch what I'm putting out there, and out of all the PIDs and stuff, if you have any questions of the stuff that I'm talking about, hit me up. But that's where my head's at. And I look forward to a whole bunch more entries and creativity, and I hope I spark something with people and making their flight styles more versatile, and they can do more things. So they can go fly through the trees and then go flip and roll in a field and have a field day. I think it'll benefit your style, your technique, and the discipline that it takes on your hands to get that flight style that you're looking for. But on that note, I got a guy coming here that's grabbing an old washer and dryer, so I got to go help wifey. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.